The Speed Vision World Challenge Touring Car Championship returns to the dawning Road Atlanta for the season finale, the 10th round of the championship chase. Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Creamer, joined by Derek Daly, and Calvin Fish will be in pit lane. It's already been an interesting weekend with the 9th round of the championship running but 2 days ago, but this morning, a huge development unfolded in the touring car paddock.
During the drivers' meeting, and in fact at the end of the drivers' meeting, Mitch announced that the appeal we filed disputing our disqualification at Sears Point had been heard.
The disqualification was appealed, went to a court of appeals. They heard, obviously, both sides of the disqualification, and they had ruled that there was that on our part, SCCA's part, that we had insignificant documentation on the camshaft part numbers.
They decided to overturn that disqualification, which was great news. It, in effect, reinstated my points for second place at Sears and put me back into contention for, you know, the number 2, number 3 position in the championship.
It's unfortunate. It was unfortunate that it took so long to get it done. Is probably the biggest thing.
This trophy has been in my race bag for the last 3 races. I have been prepared at every race to turn it over to Pierre, who finished right behind me at Sears and would have inherited this trophy if that disqualification had been upheld. So this weekend I had it with me again, and was very grateful that after the race, or after the meeting today, when I learned that they had awarded me my points back, told Pierre, I said, I'm keeping it, buddy. He was great. He gave me a big smile and a handshake.
So he finally gets to put that in the trophy case and let it get a little dusty. Let's take a look at the revised points. And there you see now Peffer up to 3rd. He was 7th. The guy I think that impacts most maybe is Hugh Plum. He came into this weekend hoping for a 2nd in the championship after the contact in the 9th round, and now this. He's got to be mentally in trouble.
It's a bit of a double whammy for 2 reasons. The contact, but you know, this race he's going to have a bit of help from his boss, as we're going to see as the grid forms up, because Cunningham is going to support him.
Let's take a look at the Rookie of the Year standings. Roger Fu, pretty good lead over Rob Hines. Hines has an outside shot at it. He's got to win the race, lead every lap. That's going to be tough to achieve, certainly. Now, Derek, let's take a look at this great facility.
Very fast, difficult to learn quickly, great elevation changes, several blind corners, and one of the problems here, Greg, is that so many people slide off the racetrack and drag that red Georgia clay onto the racing line. But the S is down to turn 5, quite spectacular.
Spectacular indeed, as was qualifying. For an update on what happened there, let's go down to the grid and Calvin Fish.
For the 4th time this year, it's Pierre Kleinubing who claims the Super Chips Pole Award. Now, earlier this weekend with a podium finish, he claimed his 3rd Touring Car Championship, but it's been a long summer for Pierre. He hasn't won a race since Memorial Day weekend at Lime Rock Park. Pierre, congratulations on the Pole Award, another Drivers' Championship, but how much sweeter would this off-season be with another win here today?
Well, definitely, it'll be a lot better. But again, we still have 100 pounds in the car, the other rewards weight. Won't be easy, especially the newcomers in the championship like Jeff here. He's pretty light and he's pretty fast, so we'll see what happens.
It'll be tough to get that win here this afternoon. A lot of hungry drivers on the grid as 5 drivers are separated by a mere 12 points as they go for that runner-up position in the championship.
Now this same feeling is available in a car.
Zoom, zoom, zoom.
Introducing the all-new Mazda Protege 5.
Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah.
Same feeling.
Zoom, zoom.
New form.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, zoom, zoom. Hey, mom. Yeah.
What is the essence of performance? Speed? Traction? Control? Or is it exceeding your own expectations? The Kumho Extra Supra 712. World-class quality and value. Kumho. Way to go.
Go, 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 go.
The Speed Vision Touring Car Championship is brought to you by Mazda.
Welcome back, everybody. The field out on its warm-up lap to get ready to take up grid positions. Want to talk a little bit about Kleinubing's achievement. Not only is it his 4th pole of the year, it's his 21st in his career, and there you see he's on the inside of that front row. That ties the all-time career mark with Lou Gelati. Jeff Altenberg replacing DuPont alongside. In the 3rd row, Neil Sapp, arguably the guy with the most momentum thus far in the season, along with Taz Harvey, another great qualifying effort after struggling in round 9. Steve Peffer, rejuvenated now, sits on the inside of that 3rd row. Next to him is Sean Amarinis, great qualifying effort. Row 4, Will Turner and Ken Dobson, a couple of very quick BMWs. And in the 5th row, once again, Leo Capaldi and the Mercury Cougar, a great qualifying effort, joined by David Leslie.
As you look down through the rest of the field, a brace of Mazdas there, 11 and 12. There's the Rob Hines and Roger Fu battle for Rookie of the Year. That has gone on all season long. So great interest this weekend to see how that ends up turning out. As you look down through the rest of the field, a name you haven't seen yet is Hugh Plum, because believe it or not, as we show you our next page, his engine blew on the first lap of qualifying, and he is all the way down in 36th position. But there's the boss, number 39 in the grid, Peter Cunningham. That's the support system I mentioned earlier. He has jumped into Fitzgerald's car to try and help Plum finish 2nd in the championship.
Try and be the blocking back on his way to the front, and that's about to begin now. The lights are red. When they go out, we are underway, and the season's last race has begun, and a huge start by Altenberg. Big move. And Sapp, though, comes right from the 2nd row, splits them both, and jumps into the lead. Neil Sapp, early leader.
Neil Sapp could not have timed that better. Oh, Fred Pignatoro's off on that first corner on the way uphill here. This is one of the great elevation changes I mentioned in the track map, but Sapp, a great run from row 2.
And watching, of course, Plum and Cunningham as they work through the deep portion of the back. But look at the lead. Sapp has opened up already. Altenberg 2nd, Kleinubing 3rd, Peffer 4th, Harvey in 5th.
And a great slip and slide down through these S's. This is the early laps on cold tires. But part of the problem here, it's hard to keep these cars on the black stuff or the gray stuff. There's the red Georgia Clay coming up already.
Big wiggle in front of Cunningham. He just barely is avoiding Phil Parledo. Big loop by Phil, but he also got away with it as well.
Cunningham dodged a bullet. He almost broadside, and here we go again, 2 corners later.
That was Oliva, got into Ed Scherbaum there in the yellow Nissan. Spun him completely around.
That's the very far end of the racetrack, a double right-hander at the end of the straight. But boy, we're half a lap in, and the action is fast and furious, as normal.
Already here on board, Will Turner, currently in the 8th spot, chasing Sean Amarinis. Look at the move, the attempted move there, not going to happen. Harvey not able to get the pass done on Peffer, and they work up now through the exit of the chicane. Bit of a lurid slide there for a moment, and on board with Leslie here, right behind Turner, trying to follow him through, and Turner went to look like block Leslie and lost his momentum and didn't get the pass done.
I'm pretty sure Will Turner got a smack from the back of Leslie, as we saw from the onboard camera, but look at the dust and dirt here. Espen Laub, he's sideways. He's in trouble. Has he got something broken on the right rear?
I think he just got on the brakes and did the proverbial tank slapper. Somehow saved it.
I think he did. I think you're right. On board now with Big Willie, top of the hill. Look at tire smoke again. They're street tires by Toyo tires. They've been very good this year, as opposed to the racing slicks they had last year. They're basically street versions that have been very, very good all through this season.
When you come up into that turn 3 area, the car kind of crests a bit of a hill there, gets a little light. Is that why we're seeing so much lock up there?
Exactly. Car gets light, rear wheels lock up, in particular on the front wheel drive cars. On board again with Turner.
Heading down into turn 6. Big charge, trying to close up the Mazda in front. Works his way now. Whoa! Off track.
3 cars in a row. One follows the other off. All 3 off the road.
Maybe there's some sort of debris down on the track, because it caught a number of drivers out. You don't normally just follow somebody off like that. He was struggling for grip.
Shauna Mariner still well in the mix. We see her there, but Will Turner not as close to the front as he wanted to be in this last round of this long championship season.
Turner right there, Derek, just was able to get by Leslie. Leslie went to defend, and Turner just motored by him on the outside. And look at this battle. That's Salama right in the mix. Oh, big move there. That's Leo Capaldi and the Cougar. I'll tell you, this team is absolutely reborn.
Another great elevation change here. This is the downhill drop. I mean, this plunges downhill. Television cameras don't do this justice. It's acceleration and turning all the way down to this front straight here.
And this turn one is another of the great gut check corners this track has. So fast, dips away, then climbs uphill. Big commitment going in there. Now, we're going to go back and take a look from Don Salama's onboard perspective here at some of that off-course action here over in turn 6 and 7. Look at that, four cars.
Everybody ahead of him goes right off the racetrack. We have to presume somebody threw some sort of oil or water down there to drag all those cars off the racetrack.
Boy, watching again this great battle between Turner and Leslie out of turn 5, bottom of the S's, up the right. Well, that Taz Harvey just off to the side. There's up in front of Turner is Espenlaub, and he just went by Harvey into 6. Harvey looks like he's going to try and counter. There's the debris flag, so there obviously was something down there, but Harvey looks like he may be in a bit of trouble here as he's trying to get some speed going.
Well, folks, again, tough race.
Unfortunate, as you could hear it, he said tough race, so something has gone wrong inside the cockpit of Taz's Dublin Honda dealership machine here. More of the season going bad for him.
No, man, there's nothing I can do about it.
He says, I have to come in, nothing I can do about it. I mean, it's running reasonably well, but there's something a bit more serious wrong with that.
That's Bonacorsi, Leslie, and Turner. Bonacorsi, the blue and white Mazda, tried to get around the outside there of Leslie. Couldn't quite get it done, but he has joined this battle, and it is intense right now as this battle continues. That's for 8th here at Road Atlanta. We're going to show you the top 10 as we go to break after only 3 of 25 laps here in our season finale.
Watch this carpet stain closely. It's out completely. Introducing Out and Clean. It's the first stain remover for carpeting that works instantly. Just spray it on and the stain is out. Amazing. Even red wine disappears right before your eyes. No rubbing, no scrubbing. What a difference. Out and Clean works great on upholstery too. Mustard and ketchup stains disappear like magic. Incredible. And look, use Out and Clean on your draperies and those age-old stains are gone. You'll never know they were there. It works great in your car or van too. Any stain on the carpet or upholstery is out with just a spray. Out and Clean is only $19.95, but call now and we'll double your order at no extra charge. That's 2 large spray bottles for only $19.95. So order now.
To order Out and Clean, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-996-5800 or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $6.95 shipping to Out and Clean, 6960 Eastgate Boulevard, Lebanon, Tennessee.
See what's new in cars for 2002 on Auto Week. Get up-to-date consumer reports, futuristic concept cars, and an inside look at the world's best auto shows on Speed Vision. That's Auto Week every Friday night at 7 Eastern.
Drop in to Warren Miller Week on OLN. Starting Monday, November 12th, Warren Miller's Global Adventure free rides around the world in one action-packed week, making treks from Africa to Antarctica. Monday, November 12th through Friday the 16th at 7 p.m. on OLN Adventure TV.
I'm going to be late for my own wedding. No worries. My new Subaru Outback's more stable in a turn than a Lexus RX 300. Gets better gas mileage than a Ford Explorer. And like every Subaru, has the added traction of all-wheel drive.
Subaru Outback, the world's first sport utility wagon.
The rugged outdoorsy type. Nice choice.
Now you can get an APR as low as 2.9% on all 2002 Outback models.
Taz Harvey's 11-year World Challenge resume includes 90 starts with just 1 win at Mosport in '92.
World Challenge is a tough series, and for anybody to say that it's easy to win a race, they're crazy. I've had plenty of second places and a lot of podiums, and I'd like to get a win real soon here. It'd be nice. You just got to keep plugging away. You know, again, it's very competitive, and it's gratifying when you do well against the caliber of drivers and equipment that I'm running against.
Harvey's focus this year has been the development of the Honda Civic, debuted in the 3rd race of this year at Mosport.
Even the guys at Honda said that it wasn't going to work as a race car, believe it or not. The guys said, hey, you know, it's going to be tough chasing down a 328 BMW and a Civic. And my big push was that I needed it to be light enough that I could carry my speed because it doesn't have any torque to get off the corners. It was frustrating not having the power at first, but as we started developing and getting some horsepower in it, the car became more and more competitive.
The veteran has seen a strong field come together in the past decade of World Challenge racing.
The level of competition in touring car now is awesome. I mean, if you look at the drivers that are in this series, they can win in anything, I think. And the skill level in the series for the top 10 guys, I think, are right in there, and they all deserve a lot of credit.
Well, unfortunately, as we went to break, you saw problems developing for Taz Harvey. He has now made it down into the pits, and he has obviously got some serious problems here. Here comes Calvin Fish on the trot, heading over to fill us in on just what's going on with Taz. But obviously, they're going to the hood, got the pins out, looking underneath, so some sort of problem. One would suspect the engine or transmission, but Calvin's there now, so let's go down and let him fill us in. Cal?
Well, Taz Harvey, having qualified fourth, has had problems in the early going here with the Honda. Taz, what's the problem?
Well, I went into the first turn on the second lap and just about took out poor Pfeffer. It just has no front brakes to it at all right now. Something broke up front, and the thing is just impossible to drive. So I'm out. This is my kind of bad luck. I mean, for some reason, this track is just, I mean, this time I qualified well, but, you know, here I am again.
Problems in the first race here this weekend. They had a muffler come off, and he decided to park it and keep the car in good shape for the race today. But once again, attrition has played a problem for Taz Harvey here in the Touring Car Championship.
And that is exactly why I should never speculate as to what may be going on, because it wasn't even close. Big move there by Jeff Daniels as he dives by and picks up the spot on Bonacorsi. So Daniels has that Mazda singing pretty nicely as well.
A nice launch off the chicane for Daniels, which gave him the momentum over the top of the hill and then down the downhill run. You don't often see passes made that easily there.
It's interesting with that new layout when you compare it to the old dip. They used to say, you know, you speed through the dip, over the bridge and down, but now you've got that almost straight line acceleration that some of the quicker cars actually almost carry more speed at 12 now.
And here is down the bottom of the S's. Look at they jump over the curb. They go right off the racetrack, over the curb, and then to like a little slip road on the right-hand side to get the last ounce of acceleration down this back straight here. BMWs, though, have the horsepower advantage on these long straights at Road Atlanta.
Into the turn. This is turn 7, and speaking of the long straight, here's the longest one. That road you were talking about that they run up and over, as you get down this back straight, you'll actually see where the road peels off a little bit to the right, just coming up past the bridge here. That's where they've actually made 2 changes. There's one of them right there, so you can run a short course, a long course, and a school course, which is almost an oval here, have 3 different events going on at one time.
Well, this is a long course here, which is by far the best. Here's one of these elevation changes. It's a downhill plunge to the brake zone. In the middle of the road, it gets a little bit bumpy, but on board now with Ken Dobson, over the curbs. Watch curbs on the right side, over the curbs again, up the hill. Look, all you see is the sky when they drive up the hill, and then plunge down.
That was nice. I mean, we just heard, I think, great evidence of the torque of these BMW engines. Wasn't a lot of rev in the car coming out of that chicane, and he just rolled in the throttle, and it accelerated very quickly. He's having a great drive. Started 8th there. He's already up to 5th, and he's taking a run at Pfeffer right now for 4th.
And here's turn 1. Now look at it again. You go down into a dip, you turn right, but as you turn, you crest this big hill here. Here's the blind right-hander. Blind. You got to get on the power before you see the apex.
And there's another example of the brake lockup we've been talking about as well. Back on. Whoa, Dobson, a huge lurid slide by Kleinubing, trying to chase down Altenberg. It almost got away from him, and in that area of the track, if it gets away from you, it usually hits something.
Wow, I mean, that was spectacular. Remember, this is a front-wheel drive car at high speed. You don't very often see that type of slide, but the handling is where he's going to try and beat the BMW, because he knows he can't do it on on power. But I'll tell you what, that was an armful of opposite lock down through those S's.
You almost wonder if he was thinking about something on Altenberg, and Altenberg checked up, so Kleinubing had to lift, and it just got the back end to come around. You're right, that front-wheel drive, he was giving it a whole load of boot, you know, to try and straighten it out.
I'll tell you one thing, he was certainly thinking of something right here. Look, the front wheel's on the grass, the back wheel's on the racetrack, and he catches it. This is about 90 miles an hour as he gets sideways. I mean, that is the moment of the year there for Kleinubing.
Oh, and look at this. Shauna Marin is coming up, taking a run on Dobson for 5th. While we've been watching Dobson in the battle with Peffer, Marinus has just motored her way up through the pack and is now 6th and trying to join this battle here. Great early drive by Shauna Marinus. And we're getting a report of a full course yellow. It is for the fluid for Sherboom's wreck. Remember, that was at turn 6, and that was a number of laps back, and apparently they just have not been able to get that cleaned up, so they've decided to send out one of the crews, get the oil dried down, try and get this taken care of once and for all. We'll be right back.
Which of these tires will stop faster? Actually, they stopped about the same. In almost any test you can think of, Toyo tires stand up against the best in the world.
Every car has its moment. This one has thousands per second. The new BMW 3 Series.
The folks I work with at Speed Vision care absolutely about racing.
There are so many people with a passion that burns so deeply for motorsports.
We put the racing first. It is the Enthusiast Network.
Welcome back to Road Atlanta. There's the pace car making the move into the pits, and we should be starting lap 10 when we get the green here. Of course, this has bunched the field up pretty good. This should be interesting. There it is, and it's Sapp, Altenberg, Kleinubing, then Peffer. Look at Dobson trying to get the run on Peffer, and he may have it done. Meanwhile, Kleinubing was not able to do anything with Altenberg, and it's 1, 2, 3 unchanged heading in. But I would not be surprised at all. Look at Kleinubing's going to try the outside. The outside on Altenberg, no, he gets it made. Look at how close that is.
And that was pure handling because he turned into the apex at turn 1, got on the power before Jeff Altenberg, and then forced the issue and drove the thing off the racetrack, over the grass, and dropped it right in front of Altenberg. Now he chases Sapp.
I was going to say pure handling and a little off-road expertise as well. Yeah. Meanwhile, right here now, Ken Dobson, after getting by Peffer, now has taken up the attack on Altenberg, this for 3rd.
Ken Dobson, remember, qualified in 8th, having a good run here, was so close to his victory earlier this season at Sears Point, almost unfair that he didn't get that win, but he's having a good run here today. But Kleinubing, look, with sheer handling, trying to run down Neil Sapp. But you know what? He's not going to do it on this straight here.
Ah, look at this. Will Turner, the yellow and blue H&R Springs BMW, taking a run at Shauna Marinus, trying to move by the Tri-Point Engineering Pro Parts Mazda. Tucked in now, this long, long run, and right in front, of course, of Marinus is Peffer. And look at this move behind. Bonacorsi is under attack from Charles Espenlaub. And got it made as we sit on board here with Salama. He watched a great move down into the chicane.
Teammate of Will Turner is Don Salama, now trying to be planted. Oh, he's hit him. He hits him.
That was Leo Capaldi trying to get underneath Salama, who may have been held up a little bit by that battle, and they got into it together side by side, and Salama off at the exit of 12. That is not a friendly place to go off the track.
And that was a monster hit for Don Salama. You see the tire tracks down through the gravel trap. I mean, he must be stunned as he sits in this BMW. But Capaldi,
looks like he was on the radio there chatting, so he appears to be all right. Watch this.
Yeah, contact already made, but look at the impact here. Watch this, look. Boom, into the styrofoam that protects that concrete wall. That was a big hit. Capaldi down the inside. I don't think Salama ever saw him. I don't think he ever saw or knew that Capaldi was in there. And this is a huge crash for Don Salama. Wow.
I think as we watch from Salama's onboard, look at that, the contact. Boom, there's the hit.
Yeah.
They have the tires with the styrofoam in front of that wall. In addition to that styrofoam has saved, I think, a few people this weekend in terms of, as you said, getting shaken up and the like. Fitzgerald's been in there and the like, and everybody's just walked away, shaken up, but otherwise okay.
Now Hugh Plum making his way all the way from 37th on the grid, trying to get forward, and David Leslie is out again.
The sight we've seen way too many times this year, unfortunately, is for David Leslie. He qualified 10th here today, but once again he's had to retire this Mazda 626, bringing it into pit lane. He's called it a day, and essentially the season is over for David Leslie. David, what was the problem out there, mate?
We've got a gear linkage problem. We can't select the gears. I can sometimes get third, fourth and fifth, but never second. And I wasn't willing to restart the race in the middle of the pack and not be able to get a gear and cause an accident. So I came into the pits, drove through to let everybody get a nice clear run, went back out just to check and see if I could make it work, but unfortunately it doesn't work, so now we're retired.
Shown so much promise this year, David, with this car and the team. Are you going to be back next year? We certainly hope you will be.
I certainly hope I'll be back as well next year.
David, have a great winter, mate.
Thank you very much.
What a great competitor and a great driver. Remember, his pole at Laguna, as we take another look at what happened here, his pole at Laguna and that unbelievable drive in the wet at Lime Rock. This is truly one of the best drivers in the series, so we certainly join Calvin in hoping he'll be back next year. And we'll be right back.
Same old, same old. I'm going driving.
What a Porsche has always been.
Weekends on OLN, fish like the pros with OLN's top cast of angling experts. From the best of Bill Dance and Fisherman with Al Linder and the best of Larry Nixon to OLN's exclusive originals, Days of a Sportsman and Sportsman's Journal. Set aside weekends for fishing on OLN.
Come share the journey.
You would have matched by a chance, would you? Look what I have created!
Castaway on the special edition video and DVD today.
Brace yourself for a rally ride where you'll be spun out, rolled over, strapped up, and covered in dirt. Join Speed Vision for the greatest World Rally events from around the globe. Catch the Rally of Australia coming November 19th on Speed Vision.
Welcome back once again to Road Atlanta, and once again we see a Peyton car making the move into the pits, and we are about to go green to start lap 16.
And watch Kleinubing now try and make the same jump on Neil Sapp that he made on Altenburg. Can he pull it off a second time?
Look at Altenburg. As a matter of fact, Altenburg looks like the guy trying to make the move. Sapp timed that beautifully and got a run. A lot of fan out behind. You see Dobson trying to protect from Marinus, who has also gone around Peffer. So Shauna Marinus' great drive continues. Now on board with Will Turner. He sits in the 7th spot right now, but of course his teammate Don Salama just involved in that big incident that we were yellow for, and Calvin Fish has found him down in pit lane. Cal?
Well, Don Salama was holding down 3rd position in the championship going into the race, but an incident there in the final turn, Don. What happened exactly?
Well, I was held up by Bonacorsi coming out of 9-10, so I had to get a little momentum. Obviously, Capaldi, I think in the Cougar, if I'm not mistaken, just got into it too hard. He took me out coming down the hill. It was uncalled for, and that's my season right there.
Don Salama and Turner Motorsports will be back next year, and they'll be stronger than ever, I feel.
Well, you know that. That's a very good team, and obviously Salama, a very, very talented driver. On board now with Peter Cunningham. Remember, he started 44th. He is 11th.
He is the boss of real-time racing. He's fast in everything he jumps into. Remember now, he's in a support role for Hugh Plum, trying to drag him to the front. He's ahead of Plum right now, but those boys are making great headway from the back of the grid. But Plum needs a lot more help than he's had right now.
Got a great battle we were just watching between Bonacorsi, and I think I called him Jeff earlier. It's Jim Daniels. I don't know if he can act, but he can drive, having a real strong run. Now we're back on board Turner in 7th. Right in front of him, 6th spot is Peffer. There they are, the blue and white machine of Peffer and the blue and yellow machine of Turner down through 12. Boy, Turner looked like he got a great run down through 12. Here he goes.
It was a great run.
Oh! Fred Pignataro has got it wrong. Remember, he went off earlier, and that's up the exit of the chicane up underneath the bridge. And there's Kleinubing thinking I got an opportunity, but Sapp, I think, sees a full course yellow, perhaps.
Oh, it's exactly the same place as he passed Jeff Altenberg. He handles very well. Coming out. Oh, he gets it side by side. He's going to pull it off. Maybe. Oh, he hits him. Touch. Pushes him off. On the grass. Leader on the grass.
Apparently nobody saw any full course yellow. It's not been called yet.
Yikes.
So that was just pure racing and at its most ferocious. And both guys spending some time off course, and Sapp hangs on. Maybe Kleinubing's getting the call at getting the lead. We may have a full course yellow and trying anything he can.
That was as aggressive as you can become for Jeff, or for Kleinubing, for Pierre Kleinubing. But you know what? They just about gave each other room to stay on the track and keep the battle going.
And right there, you heard what I think hurt Kleinubing coming on, trying to get by Sapp. There was a little breathe on the throttle right about the apex, and it didn't work. Here's what happened to Pignataro. Oh, he got double help.
He got hit by Rudy Vadjak, and then he just plowed into the middle of Stewart's car. But Pignataro is parked on the top of the hill in the middle of the road, about 50 yards from these boys right here. So we're now full course yellow.
Yep, full course has come out, and Altenberg tried to get by Kleinubing before that happened, and right there, Altenberg looking for a view and almost ended up coming nose to nose with Fred Pignataro. He's out of the car. There's Fred. So that's the good news. He's out of the car. He just got walloped a couple of times by other cars. Never got into the concrete under the bridge there, which is what can really bite you. But another pace car session here at Road Atlanta, and the order as a result is going to remain Sapp with, of course, Kleinubing and Altenberg, your top 3, but all of this is helping Plum and Cunningham. We'll be right back.
What would happen if an SUV were raised by a family of sports cars?
Zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, zoom, 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 zoom. Zoom, zoom, zoom. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Zoom, zoom, zoom.
The 200 horsepower Mazda Tribute. The SUV with the soul of a sports car.
Plastic holds the promise of a better world, taking medicine to new heights and giving our lives greater comfort. It's in the packaging that protects us and a pacemaker to empower us, every day touching every generation. From the ambulance to the emergency room, it puts the answers in our hands and hope in our hearts. For a safer, more brilliant tomorrow, plastics make it possible.
We assembled a group of German performance automobiles and drivers to show that Praxis high-performance tires from Toyo are some of the best in the world. Great looks, uncompromised performance. Their opinions.
Sehr gut. So good. So good.
Oh, yeah.
Praxis from Toyo. Uncompromised performance.
It starts here at one of 20 tracks across North America, with over 25 years of teaching experience. You could go on to race. You may even race professionally and move up the motorsports ladder. Like Juan Montoya or Michael Andretti, you could even become a star. But it all has to start somewhere. How far do you want to go?
The Speed Vision Touring Car Championship is brought to you by Toyo Tires. On the road or on the track, Toyo Praxis radials deliver quality second to none for uncompromised performance. Toyo Tires, driven to perform.
Welcome back to Road Atlanta. We continue to be under a full course caution for the incident right here involving Fred Pignataro. Now, when we went to break, his car was up by the bridge. It's now down in the gravel. Here's a rather embarrassing replay sequence for you. This was the incident, but it's what happened afterward, Derek, that got interesting.
Here's where it starts. Have a look at this here. The tow truck trying to get it off. Bang! Drops it on the ground. So they got to start all over again. So now the marshals decide, well, they'll just push it away. The wheels still roll. So two marshals begin to push it away to safety.
Downhill. Broken tie rods.
And suddenly things just get out of hand a little bit right about here. Track marshal at the back realizes he better become the human brake. Track marshal on the left.
150 track marshal braking power and a few thousand pounds of race car. Not happening.
Yeah, and that gets even more comical because now he decides, let's steer it into the gravel trap.
Why he didn't fall on his sword, reach in and hit the shift lever into gear, I don't know. Meanwhile, Calvin Fish has been checking things out down in pit lane. Calvin, what's going on?
We've got some big-time spectators here today. Hans Stuck, Boris said, congratulations on winning yesterday. Hans, what do you think of this Speed Vision stuff?
Oh, it's cool. I would love to be in it, you know, seeing all those various manufacturers there. It's just great to watch. It's great drivers in there. And the cars are drifting and sliding. That's exactly what I like.
It's got kind of style, right?
Oh, super, super.
Boris, what did you tell Peter? You're kind of his spiritual guidance here this weekend. He's made a charge from 45th up to 11th. How far can he go?
I bet that he could get to 6th, but there's a lot of yellow, so I don't know. But we just did a lot of chanting, a lot of praying, things like that. Sang a few songs, but he'll be good.
All right, mate. Thanks a lot, guys.
Yeah.
A couple of Class Acts right there. They've had a busy weekend as well, of course, driving in the America Le Mans, Petit Le Mans event.
Well, at least one Class Act.
Yeah, yeah, at least one. Yeah. We'll leave that to your imagination now. Look at this. The red flag has come up for the cleanup of Pignataro's car. Frankly, not the course marshal's most finest hour here. And we have to go red flag here to try and save some time. This is the first time this season that we have had to absolutely stop a race for anything, and for that, that's really too bad. 21 of 25 done. We'll be back, hopefully, for the finish.
Watch this carpet stain closely. It's out completely. Introducing Out and Clean. It's the first stain remover for carpeting that works instantly. Just spray it on and the stain is out. Amazing. Even red wine disappears right before your eyes. No rubbing, no scrubbing. What a difference. Out and Clean works great on upholstery too. Mustard and ketchup stains disappear like magic. Incredible. Clean on your draperies, and those age-old stains are gone. You'll never know they were there. It works great in your car or van, too. Any stain on the carpet or upholstery is out with just a spray. Out and Clean is only $19.95, but call now and we'll double your order at no extra charge. That's 2 large spray bottles for only $19.95, so order now.
To order Out and Clean, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-996-5800 or send check or money order for $19.95 plus $6.95 shipping to Out and Clean, 6960 Eastgate Boulevard, Lebanon, Tennessee.
Catch the hottest machines USA ever produced. Ground pounders, beauty queens, and killers in disguise. Because nothing is more American than Muscle Car. American Muscle Car. Wednesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Right, I know. Cash only.
The all-new A4. Suddenly, every ride's exciting.
Welcome back, everybody. We mentioned when we were talking about Hans Stuck that he was here for the America Le Mans Series in the Petit Le Mans weekend. Well, our stellar camera crew went out and just took some shots of some images that unfolded during the course of the Petit Le Mans event. Enjoy. even with an iffy start to the day, a huge capacity crowd filling Road Atlanta for the Petit Le Mans event. Many of them have stayed for this season finale here in the championship. Let's go back and take a look at Pignataro's incident there.
So Rudy Vajak hits Pignataro. He then plows into Tom Stewart, parks it at the top of the hill, and then, of course, the
carnival unfolded.
Yes, it did, yeah, which caused the red flag.
Let's go down to Calvin, who's been wandering pit lane.
Well, the cars are stationary here on the grid right now. Let's get a quick chat here with Neil Sapp. Neil, the car looks very strong here this afternoon, but once again, a lot of caution period. What do you expect here for the rest of the session?
I don't know, Cal. All the weight we're carrying, the tires are starting to fall off, and Pierre's all over me through the S's. That's the only place I'm really fighting him. So after leading all this way, I'd really hate to give this thing up. So we're going to give it all we got.
Let's get a chat here with Pierre Kleinubing. He's sitting back there. He's looking for that 4th win of the season, and he's hungry. Pierre, do you have anything for Neil this afternoon?
If he makes a mistake in turn 1 with the S's, I might. Otherwise, no way. It's just too fast in the straightaway.
Okay, well, they're getting the signal here to fire them back up. We're going to have a shootout here, and as a lot of the guys have been saying up and down pit wall, we've got a long time to fix them here this winter, so there's going to be some guys really going for it here this afternoon.
Classic, wasn't it? Sapp talking about tires are going off. We got a lot of weight. We're using up tires. Pierre saying don't have enough power. We'll be right back.
Ever since we turned up the heat on Playboy TV, nothing else seems quite as attractive. Call 1-800-DIRECTV by November 15th for 1 month of Playboy TV at only $7.99. Playboy TV. See what you've been missing.
Get a midweek charge with Adventure Wednesdays on OLN. Witness the world's most exotic adventures on Outside Magazine presents at 9 p.m. At 10 p.m., Backpack to Paradise on Trailside. And Push the Limits on To the Edge at 10:30 p.m. Adventure Wednesdays on OLN.
Uh-oh. I wasn't speeding, was I? Should I pull over? But I haven't done anything. Why am I feeling so guilty? I didn't even stop at that stop sign. Wait, there was no stop sign. Oh no, that parking ticket. Wait, I paid that.
Great car.
Oh, phew. Now what?
Really great car.
The all-new A4. Exciting to drive, hard not to notice.
What is the essence of performance? Speed? Traction? Control? Or is it exceeding your own expectations? The Kumo Extra Supra 712. World-class quality and value. Kumo. Way to go.
All right, folks, red flag is over. We're on our pace lap, if you will. There goes the pace car in, and we are looking for the final few laps of our season, let alone the race. And there's the green. Sapp, Kleinubing, Altenberg all over the back of Kleinubing. Dobson with him, then Marinas. And here we go down into the first turn. Kleinubing gets the attack on the outside from Altenberg and fends him off. But Altenberg certainly tried big time around the outside.
Jeff made a great jump, and this is turn 1 where Kleinubing says he has an advantage maybe over Sapp and down through these S's. But he better make the move really fast before he gets onto the back straight, or else Neil Sapp will be gone. But look at Dobson looking good too.
Dobson looking very tough. Look at Kleinubing glued to the back of Sapp. Here they are. Then it is the black Bimmer of Altenberg right behind the Dobson, then Marinas. Up and out of turn 5. Kleinubing on the prowl. You understand line here that if Sapp wins this, if he hangs on to it, it'll be his 4th win in the last 5 races. What a great finish to the season. Too bad he had some DNFs and problems earlier in the year.
But this is the horsepower part of the racetrack. Kleinu being in 2nd place. He can't hope to live with Neil Sapp and the BMW down this long straight. He better be careful of Jeff Altenberg, but Jeff's mirrors are filled with Ken Dobson right here. On board we are with him.
Looks like Dobson got pretty loose coming out of 7. That may have hurt his launch.
Here's Altenberg.
Altenberg's going after him.
Here's the BMW power. Look at this. Almost looks easy.
Kleinu protected the inside, but I don't know that that's not enough.
Wow. Man, that was easy for Jeff Altenberg. Now Kleinu has an even bigger mountain to climb. Look at Shauna Marinus all day long. By far her best race here.
And Will Turner has joined that pack, of course, what with the stoppage and the restart. Turner, a great run out of the chicane. Shauna's got to be pretty defensive here down through 12. Looks like she achieves that. We'll see if Turner's going to be able to try anything heading down into the first turn. And Shauna immediately moves over to defend a little bit.
Not only has Shauna Marinus been fast this year, or this weekend, she has been under pressure every single corner, and she has been mistake-free. So a great job here by Shauna Marinus, showing the boys a thing or two here. Oh, locks up on the way to the top of the hill.
That's that rear tire lockup you mentioned earlier. Meanwhile, we also saw a lot of dust as Kleinu using all the road and then some, trying to figure out a way by Altenberg. Remember now, Kleinu has already clinched the championship. He did that a couple days ago in the 9th round. This is just pure bragging rights. Altenberg, real squirrely out of 5.
Here the rev limiter. He got a good run. But you know what? As soon as they get to 3rd and 4th gear, the advantage clearly shifts to the BMW. Here's a nice nimble brake zone again. Kleinu close up a little bit. Oh, this is an uphill battle for Kleinu against these 2 black BMWs.
And right there, you can see a little bit of a difference in driving style between Sapp and Altenberg. Sapp goes in deeper, turns harder, but gets to the throttle a little sooner, it looked like, than Altenberg, and that gives him a little jump out of 7. Meanwhile, on board here, Dobson now taking a run. He's got the move. Kleinu, I don't know if he can do anything about it. Dobson down the inside, side by side, down into the 10th corner. The chicane, Dobson still there. Kleinu trying to tough it out around the outside. Couldn't do it, had to give way.
You know what? Kleinu held on as long as he could, as long as he possibly could, and Dobson forced the issue. BMW, 1, 2, 3.
I'm not so sure, though, here, as let's watch Kleinu if he can get the move done in 1. White flag, last lap. So this is it for Kleinu. He shows the nose. Not going to happen here. Onboard Cunningham. He's up now to 10th. Cunningham is up to 10th, chasing Espenlaub.
40th up to 10th. An impressive run was helped by the yellow flags. But here's 3 BMWs all in a line. And look at Dobson beginning to close in on Jeff Altenberg. Now remember, Jeff will protect Neil Sapp. They are teammates. They brought Altenberg in to ride shotgun, and he is doing it to perfection.
Big wiggle again by Altenberg. That time on turn in for 5. Here comes Dobson. Dobson alongside. Altenberg now trying to come over and make sure that Kleinu can't take the move. But look at that. What a move by Altenberg. Just absolutely forced the issue in 6.
Rubs door handle to door handle. Black to silver paint rubs off each other. And Altenberg squeezes the issue. He's back to 2nd.
Wow, ultra aggressive action by Altenberg. Now that kind of bottled up Dobson a little bit. Kleinu is at least entertaining thoughts, but the problem is at some point top end's going to come into play. Turner also continuing the pressure on Marinus. Dobson the inside. Here comes Turner.
Look
Marinus
at Shauna.
moves to defend. Look at Shauna. She might go by Kleinu. Kleinubing's forced to the outside. Now he moves over. Nope, shuts the door on Marinus.
Oh, she thought about it for a second there. Man, Shauna Marinus, can you believe, almost took a chance to go by Kleinu. Dobson pulls about 2 car lengths clear. Remember, this is all on the white flag lap.
All of that little bit of looseness by Altenberg, that has given Sapp a margin, and Sapp pulls off the win. Altenberg, Dobson, BMW, 1, 2, 3. Kleinu 4th, Marinus 5th. There's Turner, and there is Hugh Plum. He's just parked on the side of the track.
And that's his season right there. That's what's been happening.
That's over in the chicane area. Yeah, it's a very good point. That almost sort of defines how things have gone for him. He's been so close, but then had these problems, and he is crawling out. He is done here. So, well, we're going to helpfully go back here and take a look at what may have happened. Well, he got a little help, didn't he?
Bona Corsi came down the inside, gave him a nice little love tap, and Hugh Plum trying to come from the back, and you know what? He never made it.
And here's another look. We're on board with Plum, and look at Espinlaub and Cunningham. Espinlaub got all squirrely. Cunningham, and he get together. Boom, there's the hit.
Both real-time cars in a street fight here. The boss, Peter Cunningham, gets whacked. He saves it and keeps it running straight, but Hugh Plum deposited in the gravel trap.
Meanwhile, Neil Sapp, 4th win in 5 races, enjoying a victory lap.
Enjoying this race? Wish you could be on the track with them? The Sports Car Club of America is the only path to take you from the sidelines straight into action of America's fastest growing spectator sport. From street cars in parking lots to race cars on some of the greatest tracks in America. The SCCA can give you the training necessary to participate as an official at world-class road racing events. For more information, call the Sports Car Club of America or on the web at scca.org and trade your dreams for experiences.
Acura MDX with available navigation system and off-road tracking.
With NASCAR on Speed Vision, you don't just get inside the car, you get inside their heads.
I think I can hold these guys off.
We'll see how it's going to be.
Relive all the week's action with the guys who saw it firsthand.
But we've all got to learn how to not wreck. Missed it by that much.
And check out the next generation of NASCAR stars.
We think we're pretty good.
Lock on to NASCAR on Speed Vision, and you won't get left behind.
It's easy to do.
Totally NASCAR, weeknights at 6:30 Eastern and NASCAR Victory Lane, Mondays at 7 on Speed Vision.
On the track or on the road, the hottest cars all have one thing in common. They all ride on Forge Line wheels. Call now for our free brochure featuring our all-new 18-inch 3-piece wheel. Forge Line wheels, whether you're turning hot laps or just turning heads. Call now for factory direct prices. The Speed Vision Touring Car Championship has been brought to you by Forge Line. Competition crafted, street smart.
Well, what a finish to the season for Neil Sapp. He wins 4 of the final 5 races. He's talking to his man, Alfred DuPont, right now. Neil, what an afternoon. What a season for you.
Cal, awesome, man. DuPont Motorsports has taken care of me all year. This weekend, it just gave me a great car. We were able to kind of check out there at will, but on the restart, Pierre was all over me. I thought he was going to get me. I went through the S's. I had to go through the grass to kind of avoid him, and
your teammate, though, helped you out there. He got in between you and Pierre, and it looked like you had clear sailing for the last lap.
Yeah, it didn't look like Jeff really was having a little problem shifting his car, so I said, Jeff, if you could just kind of, help me out all you can back there, I'd appreciate it, and he did a great job. 1-2 is awesome for DuPont Motorsports. I'd like to thank Haberstadt, RC Injection, Travel Quest. Not only did he get us to the tracks, they got us to the winner's circle, so we're tickled to death.
Great season for Neil Sapp. 4 wins, and he nails down that runner-up position in the championship.
For the 2nd year in a row, the runner-up position. Here's our unofficial full field. Sapp, Altenberg, Dobson, Kleinebing, Marinus. What a great drive there. Take a look. There's Cunningham up into the top 10. A good run there. As we get a little bit further back, though, you're going to see Rob Hines and Roger Fu. We're going to talk about the rookie championship in just a minute. But deep in the pack, you got Plum. But how about Leo Capaldi? 9th. He ended up 32nd. He was 9th in qualifying. Leslie, Salama, Harvey. Some big names really struggled today.
And one of the bigger ones down in 29th place. And as you said earlier, Greg, defines really how his season unfolded.
It did, but for Jeff Altenberg, a great job as a replacement. Cal?
Well, Jeff Altenberg, 2 runner-up finishes, but I understand you had a few car problems there in the final few laps.
Yeah, never really got a handle on the setup, but, car was good, great power and brakes and all that. But right off the start, I had, I think, a clutch problem because it just would not go down. Even I was matching revs and everything, it wouldn't go down gears. And then on the final restart where they had it stopped, I almost couldn't get it going. So I was almost dead on the grid. So the biggest problem with that is I couldn't go down to third gear for 3 and 5, so I was having to run it in fourth, which put me pretty much below my RPM, my best RPM. So, hey, I finished second. I'll take it. Once again, DuPont Motorsports gave me a great car, and I'm happy my buddy Neil took it. And we had some good, exciting running out there, and we brought it home fairly clean.
Valtenberg, the perfect teammate for Neil Sapp here this afternoon.
Well, Calvin, he played that role to perfection, but Neil Sapp, 2 wins, swept the weekend here, vaults him into a solid second place, Peffer, Dobson, Turner.
Sapp by far had the potential to win this championship. He just wasn't fast enough, soon enough in the championship.
That's exactly right, and that certainly hurt him at this point. Now, a guy who's been coming on, only his second time at this track was Ken Dobson. He's with Cal.
Well, Ken Dobson told me all weekend long, every time he got on the track, he got quicker, mate, and what a performance in the race today. We thought you were going to have that runner-up position. Great battle with Jeff there on the last couple of laps.
It got brutal out there. The last 2 laps were, no one was pulling any punches, that's for sure. It was the end of the year, championships on the line, positions are to be made, and no one was taking any prisoners. So we went out there, we let the West Tech Electronics car give it all it had. SSF and Port Auto Parts, we did an awesome job. I'm stoked to be here on the podium again, 2 in a row. If it was the other side, it would have been even better. But hey, this is awesome. This is great.
Great way to finish the season.
Take a look at the top 5 in the rookie standings. Who comes through? Roger Booth.
Yeah, the California Gypsy. Great to see him be that successful on such a small budget, backed by a couple of guys called Skunk. What more do you want?
Hines needed help. He didn't get it. Calvin has found our Rookie of the Year.
Well, man who's been a revelation this season has been Roger Fu. Congratulations, Rookie of the Year award. A win at Laguna, a dream season for you.
Yes, thank you, Calvin, and thanks everyone for participating, as well as all the spectators who come out. That's what we do this for, right? And this is well worth it. I'm glad our season has finally ended, and I'm looking forward to getting the check. Help pay for some bills.
All right, congratulations on a superb season.
Great, thanks, Calvin.
And of course, the final manufacturer standings, BMW clinched it in the 9th round, so things don't change that much. Acura, Honda, Mazda, but there's no doubt BMW was the car this year, I think.
It was the car, but you can't help but be impressed by the progress of Mazda throughout the season.
Our Baller Award winner, though, is with Cal.
Well, the Baller Performance Award goes to P.D. Cunningham. You're getting ready for the GT race. Congratulations on a great run all the way through the field.
That was a lot of fun. The yellows help and hurt, but would have liked a little bit more green flag racing, but the Integra worked great. Never raced it before, but glad we were able to get up into the top 10 and mix it up there, and there was action right up until the last lap, so we'll try to have a little less action here in the GT affair.
Petey's on his moped. He's getting ready to get to the pre-grid. He's got a GT championship to try and win this afternoon.
What a great drive, no question, but Peter is, of course, a consummate professional. As we show you some of the great moments from the season here, I think another candidate for that Baller Award could have been Shauna Marinas. Easily her best drive of the season, and as you said, fended off pressure, was picture perfect. She certainly earned it.
Shauna got my vote. Hopefully she'll do it again next year, because she came on very strongly as he looks through some of the great action that Speed Vision has brought you with this World Challenge. And Greg, really, on the variety of racetracks that we've been to, the conditions that we've been to, we have seen some of the most spectacular racing for many years throughout this season. It's just been very enjoyable.
I think 2 of the best drives I've ever seen were one Kleinhuben's comeback drive at Mausport, and then of course he blotted that a little bit with the contact on Plum, and Arberlin from dead last through the rain at Lime Rock. I mean, there was a couple of stellar drives.
And they talked about this race having disposable items as cars that they can fix them throughout the winter. You know what? You could have almost argued that went on all season long, because we saw an awful lot of people hit an awful lot of cars and hit an awful lot of things around the racetrack harder than their vehicles.
You mentioned Sapp wasn't quick enough early enough in the season. Others were in BMWs. Clearly BMW was the package, but Kleinhubing was the consistent force with that amazing car control it is.
And the most topical point all season long, weight. When you become successful, they add weight to your car to slow you down and even the playing field. Although they've argued against it, most people that got it, overall, you know what? It's been pretty close almost every race.
And let's not forget, Hugh Plum obviously showing that the Acuras are still pretty quick. I mean, he did get pole in the 9th round, and what he and Petey Cunningham did in this race until Plum had his problems, coming up through the pack. There's a pretty good balance, and you mentioned the Mazdas are certainly showing themselves to be on that level field now, too.
And you got to have a bit of luck on your side as we watch Fred's incident here. But you got to have a bit of luck on your side. And David Leslie showed enormous skill, great speed. That team really worked hard developing that Mazda. They didn't have the element of luck with them.
And let's hope Leo Capaldi and that Cougar effort continues as the speed clearly is starting to come. We want to remind you there will be a 2001 Year in Racing program. Please don't miss it, December 13th, right here on Speed Vision. We'd love to have you join us for that. We appreciate you joining us the entire season. It means a lot to us. So for Derek Daly and Calvin Fish, I'm Greg Creamer. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you next time.